Every day, over 100,000 flights take off worldwide. Most of them land safely, but what if yours didn't? What if, in the middle of your flight, something went wrong? The engines fail, smoke fills the cabin, and the plane starts to fall. Would you know what to do? Today, we're breaking down real survival strategies, expert techniques, and stories of people who lived through the impossible. Because knowing what to do in a plane crash could be the difference between life and death. Myths about plane crashes. First, let's debunk some myths. Hollywood makes plane crashes look like instant death, but in reality, over 95% of people in plane accidents survive. That's right, you actually have a much higher chance of making it than you think. Even in the worst crashes, survival is possible. Take the case of Cecilia Sichan, the sole survivor of Northwest Flight 255. Or Juliane Koepcke, who fell 10,000 feet from the sky and walked out of the jungle alive. If they made it, so can you, if you know what to do. The seat you choose can save your life. Most people book their seats for comfort. They want extra legroom, a window view, or a spot near the front to get off the plane faster. But if you're thinking about survival, your priority should be different. Studies show that passengers sitting in the back of the plane have a 40% higher survival rate than those at the front. Want the safest seat? Pick one within 5 rows of an emergency exit. Why? Because in a crash, smoke and fire spread fast, and your chances of escaping drop dramatically after 90 seconds. This is called the 90-second rule. When are plane crashes most likely to happen? Most fatal crashes don't happen in the middle of a flight. They happen during the first 3 minutes after takeoff and the last 8 minutes before landing. This is called the +3, -8 rule. So, don't sleep, don't take off your shoes, and definitely, don't ignore the safety briefing. Being mentally prepared could mean the difference between panic and survival. In 2009, U.S. Airways Flight 1549 hit a flock of geese just minutes after takeoff. Both engines failed, and the plane had to make an emergency landing in the Hudson River. The pilot, Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger, managed to land the plane on the water without breaking it apart. All 155 people on board survived. Why? Because Sully was prepared. If he had panicked, or if the passengers had not followed instructions, the outcome could have been very different. What to do during a crash? If the plane is going down, brace correctly. This is not just a random safety instruction. The right position reduces spinal injuries and increases your chances of walking away. Keep your head down, feet flat on the floor, and hands over your head. And no, this isn't just so airlines can identify your body easier. This position protects vital organs and absorbs impact. Now, let's talk about what happens after impact. Escaping the wreckage. Every second counts. If you survive the impact, your next battle is getting out, fast. You have less than 90 seconds before fire, smoke, or structural damage makes escape impossible. Know where the nearest exit is. Count the rows in front of you and behind you. And remember, don't grab your bags. That extra second could cost lives. In 1985, British Air 2's Flight 28M caught fire during takeoff. The fire spread rapidly, filling the cabin with toxic smoke. Many passengers panicked and tried to grab their luggage. By the time they reached the exits, it was too late. 55 people died, not from the crash itself, but from the smoke and fire inside the cabin. The survivors? They were the ones who didn't waste time. Real stories of survival. The story of Juliane Koepcke. In 1971, Juliane Koepcke fell 10,000 feet into the Amazon rainforest after her plane was struck by lightning. She was the only survivor. Alone, injured, without food, she survived for 11 days in the jungle. How? She followed water downstream. She avoided predators, and she never lost hope. She used survival skills her father had taught her, like pouring gasoline on her wounds to kill parasites. If she could survive that, imagine what you can do with the right knowledge. The story of Bahia Bakari. In 2009, Yemeniya Flight 626 crashed into the Indian Ocean. Of the 153 people on board, only one survived. Bahia Bakari, a 12-year-old girl, was thrown into the ocean when the plane hit the water. She clung to floating debris for 9 hours until rescuers found her. She couldn't swim. She had no life jacket, yet she held on. Survival isn't just about physical strength, it's about mental resilience. How to survive a water landing. Most people assume that if a plane crashes into the water, it will sink instantly. But that's not true. Many planes float for several minutes, giving you time to escape. So, what should you do? First, put on your life jacket. But don't inflate it inside the plane. If water starts filling the cabin, an inflated life jacket will trap you against the ceiling. Wait until you're outside before inflating it. Then, look for floating debris. If you're in open water, stay near the wreckage. It increases your chances of being found. Final tips to stay alive. Let's recap. Pick a seat near the back, close to an exit. Stay alert during the first 3 and last 8 minutes. Brace correctly to reduce injuries. Get out in 90 seconds, leave your bags behind. Stay calm, panic kills faster than impact. Plane crashes are terrifying, but knowledge is power. If you remember these steps, your chances of survival skyrocket. Would you survive a plane crash? Tell us in the comments. And if you want more survival guides, hit that subscribe button. Because in this world, knowing how to survive is the greatest skill of all. If you have any recommendations for a new video, let me know in the comments. And remember, survival is the greatest skill.